L'accent est l'âme du discours. Il lui donne les sentiments et la vérité, which basically means the accent is the soul of speech. It gives it feeling and truth. In this video, I'm gonna share with you the importance of an excellent accent, tools, resources, and of course tips on how you can get it right no matter what language you're learning, whether it's German, Japanese, or Arabic. Assuming you have started watching this video because you're after improvement or perfection of an accent of one of the foreign languages that you're currently trying to learn. Give an example, it's a French, and since you met that beautiful French girl on your last summer holidays, you wanna impress her. You also want to be able to introduce yourself to her family, to her parents. Maybe you want to go out and be able to get that fresh baguette from one of the French bakeries in Paris. Or your aim is to be a lawyer for European Union, where obviously its headquarters are in Brussels and one of the two official languages is French. Well, do the math. In many cases, I think especially in school, they teach you how to read the language, how to write the language first. But what is essential really is how to speak, how people will perceive you, your confidence, your charisma, your energy. The sooner you're gonna take care of the accent during your language journey, the higher chances are you're gonna master it. And I don't care if you're 16, 30 or 65. And no matter what people say, what excuses they're gonna give you, such as that only someone at the very young age can really master the accent. That's not true. And by the way, those are the people that go to Spain or Mexico twice a year for 10 years in a row and all they can say is gracias. That's not who you want to be. You can do so much better than that. If you're learning Italian because you want to live in Italy one day, or perhaps you already live there, well, you want to be surrounded by the local community. You want to feel like you belong to the place. You want to meet new exciting people. Same goes to Shanghai in China. You don't want to be seen just like any other foreigner that struggles to get anything done, basically, regardless of the color of their skin. Don't be just like any other tourist. Okay guys, let's break down now on how to get it right with my 5 methods. First one, enjoy its sound. Now, I don't want to offend any particular language or any particular country, but generally speaking, of course, for majority of people, there are some languages that sound very pretty and there are some countries or languages that not necessarily are seen as beautiful as the others. I think this point is very important, and it's very important that you enjoy the language that you are trying to learn. Of course, it's very subjective matter, but if you're listening, if you're reading, writing, and you're trying essentially imitate native speakers, if you put some passion, if you put some love for the language, you're gonna learn it so much quicker. I guarantee that. Listen, listen, and listen. Now, this is one of the tips that I must have touched on one of my previous videos, but I can't express enough how important it is for the language in general that you're trying to learn, because you're gonna learn it quicker, faster, better, but essentially for the accent. Listening to a music, podcast, radio apps. Why don't you download some radio app, for example, in French or Japanese? Just listen to random podcasts. Get comfortable with what you're listening, hearing their tone of voice, their expressions, that even if you don't understand it yet, it's very important that you just surround yourself with the sound of the language. Number 3, hear yourself out loud. Now, this one can be quite subjective because what you think you sound like and what you actually gonna sound like to another person can be quite different, especially at the beginning. I think a good practice is if you have someone you generally speak to, a friend you text to over WhatsApp, instead of just texting, send that voice message, or even you can delete it afterwards if you want, but listen to your own voice for what I call a self-feedback. Now you're gonna see what you like about your voice, what you think sounds very well, some pronunciation, some words, and also the areas of improvement. 4. Expose yourself to native speakers. Now, what do I mean by that is, of course, the number one thing you can do when you're learning a new language is engaging with mother tongue speakers. But also, you're gonna feel their energy while you're interacting with them. You should be open to their feedbacks and possible compliments. For example, they're gonna say, wow, your accent is so good, but also you're gonna feel like they're not necessarily understanding you. That's a very good feedback for you to know what to work on. Last but not least, practice makes it perfect. It's well known that the consistent repetition and effort lead to improvement and mastery of any skill. Same goes to language and same goes to accent. The more you're gonna speak, the more you're gonna listen, the more you're gonna get comfortable and confident, the better you will sound like. I truly believe that an accent can be something you can connect with someone on a personal level in a good way, but also there are some bad ways. There are some places in the world where you will go to the local restaurant, and if you speak bad, you're barely understood by the waiter. Probably gonna be seen as a tourist, as someone that comes here once in their life and they will never come back, regardless of the meal quality and the service quality. As opposed to someone that speaks very nicely, can communicate easily, probably, they're gonna be seen as someone worth taking care of. Accent is seen as something that purely comes off your mouth, but it's not only that. It's also the body language, the non-verbal communication, the facial expressions and its gestures. Getting slowly towards the end of the video, thanks so much for still sticking around, and do let me know in the comments what accent is your favorite one and which one causes you the biggest struggle. Now let's get back to the video, to my last point. At the beginning of this video I promised you few tools and resources to fix your pronunciation. Now one of them is interactive IPA chart. The abbreviation is for International Phonetic Alphabet. That is a set of symbols that linguists use to describe the sounds of spoken languages. Perhaps you're one of those people that would gladly receive the help of someone, of an actual person online as your tutor. Then you have Italki, that is an online platform that connects language learners with native speaking teachers for personalized one-on-one lessons. Another one is probably the most popular online translator in the world, that is a Google Translator, where you can also hear the sound of each and every word. Then you also have forvo.com. Last but not least, you have FSI language courses, used by professional diplomats to learn languages for overseas postings. The FSI language courses are some of the world's most in-depth and thorough courses. A great tool is forvo.com. That is a website that allows access to and playbacks of pronunciation, sound clips in many different languages in an attempt to facilitate the learning of languages. They have unrivaled amounts of audio and text instruction. These courses took their students to fluency in a number of months.